So the M1 MacBooks, while still as impressive as they were when they first came out, are a decent purchase decision, but considering all the things that have been spoken about, I still would not recommend you buying one. Apple really took the world by storm with the M1 MacBooks. They absolutely killed it in terms of speed, performance, and battery endurance. They even went as far as making an M1 iMac and M1 iPads as a testament to just how good the M1 chip is. But with all these advantages, I still don't recommend getting an M1 MacBook right now. And that's because of the M1X. We have a bunch of things to look forward to with the M1X MacBooks, and one of which is the I/O. Yes, as we all know, the more recent MacBooks only have 2 USB-C ports on the entire device, which is far from sufficient for productive work. The new M1X MacBooks are expected to come with more ports, so hopefully we won't be needing so many dongles and USB-C hubs with the new MacBooks. Another huge upgrade coming with M1X MacBooks is in terms of performance. We already established that the M1 MacBooks are performance champs, but the M1X chip is about to take that lead a lot further. With the M1X MacBooks, we're getting even more RAM, more storage options, and 8 power cores in comparison to the 4 on the M1. So that's effectively double the performance. We're also looking to get a choice between 16 to 32 GPU cores on the M1X MacBooks in comparison to just 8 on the M1 Macs. Now, if performance is something that is really important to you and you're in the market to get a new MacBook, I beg you, please do not get an Intel MacBook. You wonder why? Well, Alex, why don't you tell them?
Hey Johannes, how you doing? Thanks for having me here. Hello to all your viewers as well. Thanks for allowing me to be here today. So I've been using the Intel Mac since the beginning of last year. It was an upgrade from a Windows machine. I think it was an i5 laptop that I had from HP. So at the time, March 2020, the Intel MacBook Pro was the top of the range. It was before the M1, and it was pretty salty on the price as well, which is why I'm kind of reluctant to sell it, because I know I'm going to lose a lot of money. And at the moment, is still performing as it should. Would I recommend anyone buying the Intel machine? Not really. I mean, given the M1 has already been around for some time, and given that M1X or M2 is about to be released, I'd say stay away from the Intel unless your budget is really constrained. Another consideration is going to be the apps, right? They're already being developed with the M chip in mind, so it's going to be tricky to stick with Intel for now. I would kind of avoid it if I could. The other reason is future-proofing, right? If you're investing so much money on a laptop, you don't want to be upgrading it every year. So like I did, I don't see me upgrading this device for at least another year. Maybe next year. It started to do some weird things already with editing videos. It's a bit of an Intel tax that I think exists. That was a bit of a conspiracy theory there, but I think Apple do try to push you to the latest, right? So software will start to be developed less for Intel and more for the M, and I think the overall updates, and I don't know what Apple does with the updates, but I have noticed recently in the last few weeks that my machine has started to become a little bit slower, and I see more of the beach balls that I haven't seen before. And this is a powerful machine. It's got, 64 gig of RAM. It's the top Intel processor that I've got. I've got the specs here on screen for you. So it shouldn't really be giving me all this hassle right now. So I'd stay away from it if I could. Recommend going to the M1, or if you can, wait for the latest one, of course. But the M1 is still going to be a good buy, I think. Of course, there's always the thing that if you are losing money or if you're kind of unable to do your work, then get the M1 now, right? There's no point waiting. But if you can wait for the M1X for 2 reasons. One, you can get the M1X or M2 and future-proof yourself. Or another reason is the M1 price will come down with the M1X being released. That's it from me, guys. Thanks, Johannes, for having me again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for telling us about your experience, Alex. And if you guys want to check out his channel, it'll be the first link in the description box below. So if power is really something that you're focusing on, then make sure to get the M1X MacBooks. Another change we're expecting to get with this new generation of MacBooks is with the design. The M1X MacBooks are expected to come with a new design featuring slimmer bezels, possibly flatter sides, and no touch bar, which I'm sure is good news for some people who have been crying to get the touch bar removed for the longest time. I'd say the only thing really going for the M1 MacBooks right now is the price, because of course they can regularly be found on discounts and you can pick up an M1 MacBook Pro for as low as $10.99 right now. Meanwhile, the M1X MacBook Pros will be starting from $17.99 and above. So if you're really in a tight budget and you can't really splurge a little more on your MacBook, then getting an M1 MacBook Pro would be the best decision for you to make. Remember, stay away from Intel. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section right below the like button. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos like this. And if you want to check out my other content related to MacBooks, iPhone, Samsung, and so on and so forth, then you'll see them on the screen right now. Peace.